And we are live. So
Hello.
I have an interesting guest. Probably haven't heard too much of her yet, outside of maybe my mentioning of her being on the channel in the future. But I'm gonna leave it up to her to give a generally brief discussion of who she is as a person and what she does, aside from the fact that she has bodies in her dumpster.
Hi. I'm basically we start talking because I made a post about was it libertarianism, and I'm pretty hardcore libertarian. I used to be like a full-on anarchist, but at this point I see the need of government. I like nukes and comics and zombies. I like zombies a lot. That's about I'm not good at introducing myself.
I like nukes, comics, and zombies. All right, in that order, or
uh,
I'm joking. You don't have to
Zombies and
answer.
nukes are kind of tied, and then like comics, like that's like my hobby, you know. But I'm always ready for any apocalypse scenario.
All right, everybody beware. She's building a zombie nuke in her basement as we speak.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, we've had a conversation before this started. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna build another Hiroshima in my basement.
Build another fat man, and not the shoulder fired kind.
Yeah, God. Yeah. That's the other thing to anyone watching. I have a dark sense of humor.
Oh, everybody loves a dark sense of humor, unless you start talking about the lemurs. We all knew where I was going with that one. All right, I'll look at the chat. We have a bunch of emojis from my fucking glorious cunt squad I got going on here. Bobby Fisher, Artemisia says tits.
it
Indeed, she does have tits.
they're not much of them.
I'm not one to judge. Bobby Fischer says, "What's wrong with a nuke?" Well, that depends. If you're North Korea, it tends to blow up in the launch pad.
Yeah.
So we discussed this in well, I guess a little bit of detail before the before we even started streaming to begin with. But you and I both concur that North Korea probably has a better chance of blowing themselves up before they have any chance of doing damage to the United States.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I what I didn't mention before we went live is that their underground testing, which is like underneath a mountain, there actually is becoming very unstable, and it looks like it might kind of collapse. So there is a chance that if they try to do another test underground, they'll blow themselves up before it really even finishes.
Blew up before it even finished.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
won't be the first time Kimmy's had that problem, I'm sure.
Oh God. God. Have you ever seen their propaganda videos?
From North Korea?
Yeah, they're so funny.
Oh my god, it's horrible.
I've
It's horrible in the sense it's so terrible I can't look away.
it's like 1940s quality production. I was like, you're gonna tell us you're gonna nuke us. You can't even make a real, like, even remotely looking, like, fake nuke. I think the word slips from my mind. The animated nuke, I guess. Like,
Mushroom Cloud?
it just yeah, like the explosion was like like they just put terribly done image of the mushroom cloud going up over a picture of New York City, and that's supposed to be scary.
Well, Boober in the chat says the dictator is surrounded by and she puts it in quotes, echo chambers, and you can't be good in those conditions. Everything is fake. Well, I mean, obviously, the chances of North Korea being an actual legitimate threat is, well, I don't think it's impossible. It's damn near slim to none, considering well the amount of allies we have, and well the proximity of said allies to North Korea and North Korea's size and lack of technological advancement in comparison to ours when it comes to not only military but nuclear power as well.
And the fact that Russia and China are both starting to kind of be done with North Korea. They were their biggest. They were kind of relying on Russia and China, and it looks like that might not work so well for them.
Very, very much so, especially in a Russia sense. At least in the sense of China, there's China still has a similar, not necessarily the same, but a similar form of government being communist and whatnot.
Oh yeah, their system is terrible, but at least I can't. His name escapes my mind, but their president at least is a reasonable and intelligent man.
Oh,
He's
China?
not a yeah in China. There, I can't think of what his name slips my mind, but he seems very reasonable and intelligent.
Well, considering you have one of the largest populations on the planet underneath the same banner of a country, all doing your whim like little, field mice, you have to be very well spoken and very well read in order for that to happen.
Yeah. Oh, Booberly says, "Did you see the movie The Interview?" Yeah, we were actually talking about that before we went live.
Oh my
I
god.
love that movie. Baby, everybody work.
Oh, that's so bad.
Max Francis insert Rocket Man song. Are you talking about the Rucka Rucka Ollie's Kim Jong Un parody? 'Cause, yeah, I was listening to that earlier today. Just,
This is
when
gonna and you go
go
ahead.
ahead. Oh, okay. Well,
And you were thinking, ah, damn it.
what he said
You go
about the
ahead.
button comment, and I always have the button on my desk. All I could think of was the line from the song, "I bombed China, but the button got stuck. Oh fuck, better duck. Here's a fortune cookie for luck."
Oh, I'm sorry, but every time I didn't put it in the last video I did, but I really wanted to make one of the rockets I'd had in the background actually look like a fucking I was reform. I said an egg roll with fucking like an egg roll rocket. I'm like,
God,
that's a little racist even for me.
try not to be too racist.
Some oven jokes are out of the game then.
No, I honestly, it's a joke. It's a joke, not a dick. You can take it.
Well, in some cases,
Like,
some could take both, but they usually charge you for one more than the other.
yeah, it's true. That's true. But yeah, no, I don't say I didn't get offended by jokes. It's oh,
Yeah, I try. I don't get offended. I mean, I get there are certain jokes like the whole Kathy Griffin thing where she had the severed head of Trump. I was like, eh.
I
She
don't.
said it was
I
she
don't.
said it was a joke, and jokes are subjective. So maybe she thought it was a terrible joke. I think it was an absolutely fucking horrible joke, and she should feel bad for it. But a
Yeah,
joke's a
that went
joke.
way too far. Yeah, I don't. I can't tell if she thought of that as a joke or not. It seemed to like I don't think she was saying she was actually gonna kill him or anything. I feel like she felt about him and then a joke.
Oh yeah, yeah,
A
you cut
joke.
out there a little bit.
I said I feel like I think more like a commentary on how she feels about him rather than just a joke. A joke would have been like, I want to smack him upside the head. I'd like to punch him in the face. I'd like to kick him in the balls. But like that was that was a little. It seemed more like something she wanted to see happen.
Well, I mean, it's that's your perception of it versus hers. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not condoning her actions either way. I think that what she did was dumb and idiotic. Don't get me wrong. I
Oh
think
yeah,
it's still a
no,
terrible joke, but at the end of the day, if she wanted it perceived as a joke, then oh,
yeah,
that's up to her.
yeah, no, absolutely. That's just that's how my interpretation, what I got from it. But who knows what was going through her head? Maybe she was drunk when she did it.
Are you
Uh,
using? You're running this directly through that link I sent you, right?
yeah,
So yeah, you're using Hangouts then.
yeah.
Yeah, I just got a message in the chat saying that Discord helps cut down on delay, but A, I don't know how to do that since I'm relatively new to the whole streaming thing, and B, I don't think my computer can handle it anyway.
But I
I
know.
mean,
Oh, go ahead.
I can hear the thing like clicking in the background even with headphones on right now, and I have terrible hearing.
Oh God. No, I I don't have a Discord. Um, I know my computer can handle it because it's like set up for like gaming and like technology and stuff. So it's like a serious computer, but it can handle pretty much anything. It's just I don't have a Discord. I don't know how to use one. And this is the second live stream I'm on, and the first one I was on yesterday. Oh, that was a wreck. I
That was horrible.
I was wound up somehow Warski live, and I the comment I had left on Angie's post was about being against the not really supporting race realism and kind of being against, I guess, like looking into it more. And it's a weird topic, but I just left a comment. It was about that, and um and so he like I think he thought that I was agreeing with the guy that was like saying he was racist, and I don't know. It was a big miscommunication, and I asked him when he first messaged me, like, "Well, what are we gonna even be talking about?" And he didn't really say. So it was it was a big miscommunication. So I was like getting ready to talk about like race realism and why I don't think we're subspecies of And so I have like my early childhood development book out and stuff, and I'm ready. I got my sources and stuff, and then he starts talking about like some the drama thing. And, it's funny to watch that kind of stuff, but I'm not involved in drama like that. I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm just starting, so I had no idea what was going on, and they didn't really give me a chance to talk much, and it was just a mess. And I then they started talking about social justice, and I just came off as a complete airhead. I didn't say anything dumb. I just didn't say much, and what I did, it was just kind of lacking any strong points. And I
Oh
sound
yeah,
drunk on microphones.
you don't sound drunk. You sound high. If that's any
Yeah,
consolation.
I hope I
But
don't. Go ahead.
the the reality of the situation is, I kind of figured you were kind of blindsided into considering your response was more or less of a huh kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
because the post was about like the talk, like a pre Richard Spencer talk, and my comment had been about race realism, so I figured we're talking about like the upcoming Richard Spencer debate thing, and it was I had commented about race realism, so it's like okay, like but I assumed that's kind of what we were going on. And I asked him, but he didn't tell me. No hurt
yeah, I
feelings
mean,
towards Andy though.
fair enough. I mean, Andy is disorganized. Like I said before, I don't have anything against the guy, but everybody's got their negative qualities, and that is definitely one of his, and one of mine as well. I'm not a very organized person. I tend to be very scatterbrained. But in regards to race realism, I guess we can tread down this road a little bit.
Oh
In
yeah,
regards in regards to race realism, my methodology behind it at the end of the day is I don't care what the fucking color of your skin is. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care if you're tall, short, fat, wide, skinny. As long as at the end of the day you contribute to society, you pay your taxes, and you're a good person, more or less your merit is more important than what your identity is. Because
Oh yeah,
quite frankly,
absolutely.
I'm anti-identitarian to almost the extreme limits. But
Yeah,
I also
absolutely.
do
That's
I also
Go
do
ahead.
believe in I also do believe in borders in the sense that we are in no way obligated to take people from other countries just because they asked to come here. Like us being the country that the United States, we are allowed to pick and choose
Who comes in?
as we see fit. Yeah,
Yeah,
for the betterment of society. That's not saying that those people that we didn't choose are quote unquote subhuman. It's just no, they just fell below the bar of what we felt like we'd allow into our country, which has happened a multitude of times. Oh, there was a brief
yeah,
period in human history, brief period in United States history, we didn't allow anybody in at all.
yeah, yeah. Well, my view on the race realism thing is pretty much summed up very well in the movie The Interview, which is same but different, but still same. But I think the term race is even dumb. I think of it more as ethnicity. We evolved to, like with the climates and places we were living in, and certain features became more prominent, but we're obviously all the same species. Like, if you look at brains and like bone structure, we're all the same. We just look different because of genetics, heritage. But it's just stupid.
Well, yeah, a lot of it is. All it is for them, it's identitarianism, but on the right side of things, which I don't agree with either. The
Yeah,
reality of the situation is the way I look at it is Milo Yiannopoulos, I think, kind of explained it the best, even better than I could have put in my own words. And although his words are simple, they make a lot of sense. The best way to fight identity politics isn't with more identity politics, because all it's going to do is you take the pendulum and you move it from the far left identitarianism and you say that far right identitarianism is better. Eventually the culture is going to shift the other way and you're just going to end up being on the opposite side of things again.
oh yeah, absolutely. I think identitarianism is just a dumb idea. I think it's fine to be proud of your heritage, like where like what nation you are from or whatever. If you're like German, if you're
Agreed.
Greek, whatever, where it is. If you want to have like your German pride, Irish pride, Russian pride, Greek pride, that's fine. But what your skin color, like that's just stupid. Are you proud of that? Be proud of your like country, your heritage.
Oh, Max France says not true. There are differences in bone density and average muscle mass between races, especially due to the differences in testosterone levels. However, yes, he is correct. However, if I gut a black man and if I gut a white man, at the end of the day, their innards are still the same.
Yeah,
You're missing the point.
that's like what I was saying about how we evolved to people in different places evolved to adapt to their climate the best. That's why people who are farther north have much paler skin. Like if you look at North Koreans, for example, they have the same skin tone as people in like northern the northern United Kingdom. They look different, but they're very pale because they're far north.
You're telling me Asians and blacks share the same bone structures? Well, no, not necessarily. However, they still have the same bones.
Oh no, I don't think they have.
Also,
Yeah, I was just saying like with
uh,
skin color.
also, if you gut an Asian and a black, their innards are still the same unless they have some kind of evolutionary deformity. But that
Yeah,
as an outlier and not the rule.
yeah, we still have the same bones. It's that if you live in a harsher, environment, and you're going to need a stronger bone density, and men will need more testosterone to be more to protect more. Whereas if you live in a more civilized environment, you don't need those things. So your genetics are going to focus on other things.
Well, yeah, I mean and if you want to take race realism to actually where most of the far side of that race realism debate come from, they talk about the average IQ The
Oh yeah,
reality of the situation is that most people don't understand when you're dealing with an average, you're dealing with an average. Now, if you really wanted to boil it down, we can also deal with
absolute.
we can deal with sex realism too. And the reality of the situation is that women, on average, actually have an higher IQ than men do.
Yeah, the men have a much steeper bell curve. Like most women have, like women's is pretty. There's not many on the low end, and there's not many on the high end. Most of them fall like pretty average, but men they tend to be on either you stupid as fuck or you smart as fuck.
Usually, yeah. I mean, it's when you deal with the average, yeah. I mean, men tend to fall less in the higher end of the median,
Yeah, they tend to fall lower. But I think
and
that's evolutionary because women, evolutionarily, I can't talk. Um, we're raising kids, so it's like kind of got to have a little more intelligence for that. And men were just like, oh, big, strong, I protect. Well, you don't need as high intelligence. So I think that's a environmental, evolutionary thing too.
G Money in the Bank says, little known fact: black chicks' titties make chocolate milk.
Oh God.
Science, people. Hashtag science.
Yeah, Bobby Fischer says there's scientific proof that the closer you get to the equator, the lower IQ you get. Yes, that is true. I did take an early childhood development class in college, and the thing with IQ is that it is not entirely nature and it's not entirely nurture. It's a combination of both your genetics and the environment you are in. With and no, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a YouTube scientist. I took a class and I know a little bit about this, but um, but yeah, it's a combination of both. So if your parents have higher IQs and your ancestors did, but you live in a shit environment, you have bad nutrition, you don't have access to good education, you know, yeah, your IQ is probably going to be lower. And vice versa, you can have shitty, and or your ancestors could have shitty IQs, but you could have a higher one if you're in a better environment, access to good schooling, good nutrition, whatnot. It's a big combination between nature and nurture. And I can cite the book that says that if anyone wants proof. I just got to figure out where the heck it is. Hello?
Still here.
I wasn't sure if it was the mic cutting out or whatnot, but yeah, I'm trying to. Okay, I got the book here. So the book is Discovering Childhood Development. It's by Carolyn Lynn Martin and Richard Babes. It's the second edition. So yes, that is my source.
G Money in the Bank makes a very good point in the form of analogy. He goes, the race and IQ discussion is about two populations with red or blue shirts arguing over who's got the most purple average.
Yeah, yeah.
Which Max in the chat also, which I agree with him, also makes a very valid point early, which I'm very much behind, is you treat people as individuals rather than based solely upon their race.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. I really could not care less what someone looks like or whatever. I just, if you're a good person, you're a good person. You're a shit person, you're a shit person. So, and by that standards, I should probably be treated like shit.
Oh, we all have our baggage. Not everybody's perfect. Hell, most people aren't perfect. It's the ones that act like they're perfect that make me nervous.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm just an asshat. I can I'm trying to be a little more serious right now, but when when I
Go ahead.
hmm?
Oh, I thought you were starting a sentence.
Oh no, I said what I said. I can be quite an asshat when I'm not trying to be serious. I'm trying to take things a little more seriously right now. But yeah, no, when I start joking, I can
Feel free to joke
for
around as you please.
okay. I'm trying to make up for my dumbassery from yesterday. God, that was so bad. That was so bad.
Well, to be fair, I've had worse.
I've seen much worse people on live streams too, so I won't go down as the worst yet.
Question in the chat says, "Do I understand communitarianism?" Not a whole lot. I mean,
Yeah,
from what
it's
I
not.
understand, it's basically you form yourself with a connection to an identity, and you form yourself around
Yeah.
like that connection more or less. But I'm more of an individualist than anything else.
Oh yeah, I am too. I just yeah, people are individuals. That's how I'm gonna look at them. You're responsible for your own actions.
You're roboting a little. I don't know if that's gonna hang around or not.
Let me just move my mic a little bit and see if that helps. It's not a like standing mic. It's on a headset.
That's better. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not roboting anymore.
Newly awakened said, "I bet I'm the oldest."
Yeah, she's gonna
I
lose
don't
that
say
bet.
my age online. Am I 15? Am I 82? Who knows? No, I'm not 15. If I was 15,
Not even gonna touch that one.
oh god, yeah,
I don't. I don't want the. I don't even want the. I don't want the feds knocking on my door.
oh no, that I don't know if you've been watching that like the Kumite streams, the blood sports. There was that one. It was like 12 hours with that guy Destiny who had the 15-year-old with the bikini photos.
Oh my god, Destiny just pisses me off in a multitude of ways.
I want to
It would be
smack
one.
that man upside the head.
It would be one thing if he were to remain consistent, in which big fan of JF either. I don't want to have anything against him personally. I just think he's boring as fuck. But that's
Yeah,
just me.
I think
But
he's well
like,
educated, but he really cherry picks scientific results to fit how it to fit his narrative. Because when I was watching him talk once, he pointed out that like, oh well, when he was talking about how like a race is real and whatnot, he was like, well, we can actually take DNA and see if someone his ancestry is from northern Poland or southern Poland. I'm like, okay, so you're telling me that's different races? Like not, that's not it's cherry picking.
well, yeah, you want to cherry pick data. I'm sure if you go back far enough, every single person on this planet probably has a little Jew in them. Since there's such a big fan of the Jewish question, let's delve into that topic, shall we? That'll end well.
The Jewish question. I can't even start. I can't. I
Yeah, let's not get into that. I got a little bit of back history on that one on myself. I don't want to talk
I
now.
I don't even want to think about that. Boob Release says loved when Tonka went off on Destiny. Yeah, I know. I was dying laughing. Ah, that was funny.
I don't. And the sad part is, like, I'm not even the biggest fan of Tonka, but when I heard that, I was like, all right, kudos, very much
Yeah.
kudos. I don't mean that in anything against Tonka. It's just he's not my cup of tea. It
Oh
is just what
yeah.
it is. I thought the Jewish question was, "Will you be my accountant?" No, the correct Jewish question is, "Will you be my lawyer?"
the correct Jewish question is, are you scared of ovens? That was bad.
would you would you like to see the oven I have in my basement?
Oh God. You need some gas? I got some gas here.
I got some of that I got some of that special kind of gas. Catch my meaning.
God.
And we're on a list.
Yep. Alt-right confirmed.
Alt-right Klansman Nazis confirmed. Or Klanswoman in your case.
Plans lady.
Wait, how does that work?
I don't know. Don't they like not even let women in it?
Right. Women are not allowed. Subsequently, don't ask why all of us are getting inside of this pit with full of baby oil and condoms. Why does it smell like a bunch of burnt rubber and Vaseline around here? Also, why is Richard Spence? Never mind, I don't want to know.
Did you see Harold and Kumar go to White Castle with this KKK scene? I think that was White Castle. It was either the first one or the second one.
I saw the first one. I don't remember that.
I just remember there's a scene where they run into like the KKK and they disguise themselves as like Klans members trying to like get through, and they start talking about like the things they've done to each other. It's like, yeah, one time I took this Asian guy's toothbrush and put it up my ass.
Ah, that's so bad.
Mac Grant says, "Klans whammon, please respond."
I respect whammon.
Whammon. Whammon. Respect me, I'm a whammon.
I don't respect myself. What makes you think you're special?
Yeah, right.
Respecting myself involves a bottle of liquor and not remembering the night before.
Yeah, respecting myself involves a certain concoction of substances, and then I'm just delusional.
Sounds like something we should talk about later. I'll take some notes.
JF having 7 Klans whammons who have allegations against him is kind of creepy. Yeah, it's a little shady.
Yeah, allegations still not proven.
Yeah, no, I just mean JF in general. Yeah, allegations. I don't take those seriously, especially since it's kind of trendy right now to be a sexual assault victim.
To note, Bobby Fisher in the chat, incorrect. To be Klans woman, aka part of the KKK, the Klans part of it has to start with a fucking K. Otherwise, it'd be KKC, which sounds like a really, really, really fucking ghetto way of saying KFC.
KFC, oh god. Real.
Hold on, I got it. KFC.
Ghetto speak. I'm way too familiar with ghetto speak, being from Chirac.
Okay, don't
we need help. Please send help. Please send help.
The UN will send in their own militants. Don't worry about it. They'll make you a genuine part of the UN.
Oh yeah, usually I'm not for government intervention, but Chicago, I'm kind of okay with that at this point. It's bad.
It's getting a little out of hand. 700 and some odd murders. Yeah.
I stopped counting. The thing is when you look at those numbers too, is that they're not even accurate. There's a lot that go unsolved and whatnot, not recorded, and it's bad, and it flows into the suburbs now too, like more than you would think. I think Chicago needs some military intervention at this point, and this is coming from someone who's pretty extreme libertarian. I really fucking hate the government, and I used to be like an actual like anarchist and believe like we need to get rid of a government, and I'm asking for the government.
I'm not saying we need the government in here, but we need the government in here.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need the government, but we need the government.
The reality of the situation is downtown, certain parts of Chicago are starting to look like most of the parts of Detroit.
Yeah, I think it's worse than Detroit in some areas. Honestly, a
So you
friend
don't.
who lives in
No.
it's called Little Village. It's like the Mexican neighborhood, and like just going there, driving down streets, it's there like every other house is like shot up with boarded windows and stuff, and it's like Jesus fuck.
Well, you see, if you ever want to play Fallout 4 in VR, you just carry a rifle around that part of Chicago. It's like
Yeah,
basically the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and the funny thing about that's why when they say, "Oh, we need more gun control," you cannot buy a gun in Chicago in the city limits. You cannot buy a gun. You can have one with a permit, um, but you cannot buy one in
And I'm
Chicago.
gonna and I'm gonna guess most of those people that are committing acts of violence with firearms do not legally own said firearms.
Oh yeah, I can confirm that is true. I knew some people. I'm not going to get too into that, but there's I can confirm none of them have legal firearms. It's all
Uh,
imported.
well, I do live in a state. I do live in a state quite similar to the very concept of Illinois in general, so I can understand certain people that I know owning firearms that may or may not be legal.
Yeah, I think you told me in private. I'm not going to say obviously, but yeah, I think you told me in private, and I'd have to agree that not it's pretty similar.
Yeah, it's a shitty place. I'm looking to get the fuck out of this state as soon as possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind leaving Illinois. So, G money in the bank says Detroit is 10,000 times more than Chicago.
10
My
million.
thing with Chicago is you don't get to talk about how bad Chicago is unless you live in Chicago.
Yeah, to be fair, Chicago has a higher murder rate, I do believe, than Detroit does. But that
Yeah,
might just be simply because Detroit doesn't have anybody else living in it anymore.
yeah, that's I think that's part of it. And yeah, Chicago's just getting way out of hand. It's like I said,
But
it's leaking into the suburbs. We have GDs all over the suburbs now.
well, you got that fucking asshat Rahm Emanuel being like, "Oh, we don't want Trump coming to our city because we're an anti-Trump city." Who the fuck wants to go there anyway? God forbid he walks into the fucking hotel and it's already robbed before he gets there.
To Chicago,
Is that?
I said I don't blame anyone for not wanting to come to Chicago.
Yeah. I mean, I've been to Chicago once in the airport for all of about 20 minutes, and that was long enough.
Yeah, yeah, it's it's reasonable. I actually have a funny story about people not wanting to come to Chicago. So I'm sure pretty much everyone who's been on YouTube knows who Shane Dawson is. And yes, I'm in my 20s and I still watch Shane Dawson. I love him. I think he's hilarious. But
I'm judging
he
a little, but go on.
let's see, I think it was 2016. He went on his book tour, and he said he was coming to Chicago, and I was really excited. And I did get to meet him, but he did not come to Chicago. He went to Naperville, which is like about an hour away, and like the whitest white picket fence rich, like high middle class neighborhood, like closest to Chicago. So when he said he went to Chicago after the tour, all I could think was, no, you did not, Shane. You did not come to Chicago. You went to Naperville.
You might have flown over Chicago.
You did not go to Chicago.
Well, that's like people that say that it's like, all right, well, I've been in New York City, and it's like, all right, well, what part of New York City? Well, I've been to like Long Island, sweetheart. That's not New York City.
Yeah.
That's a little island off the little peninsula that is New York City. That's where all the rich people hang out. Where none of the violence happens.
Yeah, like when people say, I've been to Chicago, where in Chicago? I've been downtown by Lake Michigan and on, all the area. Like, yeah, that's the nice part of Chicago. Or they'll name like a nice neighborhood there. It's like, yeah, there's some pockets that are good, but the thing is you have to drive through an area where you might get shot in the head just for no reason to get to the nice area.
All right, we'll talk. Speaking of Chicago, it's funny. Gabriel Lopez is obviously he's not part of the. He doesn't live in the U.S. as you can tell soon by what he's about to say. Is in his city, he's saying guns are banned, double the gun murder rate of the U.S. Population 50% smaller. Yes, it is bad. He is from a South American country. Not to go into
Yeah.
certain details, but yeah. So it's funny, guns banned, but he is guns banned, but double the gun murder rate of the U.S. And the population is 50% smaller. Figure that one out.
Yeah, there's just, oh God. I feel like when you ban guns, there's more violence, even whether it be with or without guns. I like look at everything in Europe that happened. They don't have guns; they just run people over. I'm a strong believer in guns don't kill people; people kill people.
Well, eventually somebody's gonna figure out a better way to kill somebody. I mean, whether I do it with a firearm or with a pressure cooker full of or they use steel balls,
kitchen spoons,
or other form of shrapnel and some gunpowder. Either way, I'm still gonna kill people.
Oh yeah, it's
Gabriel Lopez. Gabriel Lopez says.
Really, I really can't say more than people kill people.
Gabriel Lopez, worst part is to be shot by fuckers in flip flops.
that
fucker killed me, and he's. They wear flip flops in Chicago. Isn't it like a cardinal sin in the U.S.?
In Chicago. What?
UK knife crime is silly high right now. Well, of course it is, because it's still a fucking weapon.
The hangout is cutting out.
Oh, is it? Hold on.
I think it's fine now.
Yeah, it seems to be working all right on my end.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Chicago internet. Somebody probably fucking ran into a telephone pole.
London has stabbings every damn day. Yeah, from what I hear, that is true.
X.
Yeah, Max France also says knives of 3 inches are also banned. I think in Illinois it's 4.25, 4.5 inches. It's something like that. I have a lot of knives.
For fuck's sake, and most kitchen knives are damn near 3 inches long.
Yeah, that's retarded. And knives aren't even necessarily a weapon. They have very practical purposes to carry one on you. There have been so many times I'm glad I have a knife on me because I just gotta cut something open or whatnot. Trying to make some ramen, too drunk to open the ramen package. I got a knife, just stabbed that motherfucker.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Universally utilizable in a multitude of ways.
yeah. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, and I don't want to get up for a second. So, but I have a really cool knife, um, and it's that Cyclone knife. It's the M48 Cyclone knife I have. What that is, I suggest you all Google it.
So Max Francis acid attacks are. Oh, hold on. Before that, G Money in the Bank says that 24 per 100,000 in Chicago and 40 per 100,000 in Detroit for a murder rate. So Detroit does in fact have a larger murder rate.
Yeah, that is that. Well, no, that's because that's just out of people. I'm not sure on per capita. I'm also not sure on the what year those stats are specifically from. I don't know
Those
off
are
the top of
from.
my head, and I'm not about to be like Destiny and start looking things up to correct people everything they say.
He does say that that's from 2017.
Yeah, I'd have to double check, but like I said, there's a lot that go unreported because people are too scared to report them, and there's a lot of attempts that aren't successful too.
And to be fair, you also have to remember that both Detroit and Chicago do have a certain amount of notoriety and infamy behind them for being not the best of places to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think everyone can just agree that Chicago and Detroit both terrible. Maybe we should avoid both.
Can we just like cast out Chicago, Detroit, and L.A.? Can we just cast
Oh
those cities
God.
out? Cut them out, make them their own little island out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh God, LA. At least if the U.S. does get nuked by North Korea, it'll be LA. Should I have
The
said
only,
that?
the only solace I will get out of this is that you fuckers will be nuked first.
Yeah, yeah. At least LA is gone. But yeah, I don't want Illinois to be nuked because I live here. But if I did it, I might not care too much.
Yeah, my feelings towards that is like I see the mushroom cloud. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get a beer. I'm gonna die anyway.
I'm the type of motherfucker to take a selfie with a mushroom cloud.
Well, that would be probably if you had battery, if you had any form of electronics whatsoever. That'd probably be one of the most badass selfies of all time.
Yeah,
Kind of like a fucking Fallout Boy thing going on there.
I just need like a Polaroid camera would work. Cell phone camera wouldn't, but Polaroid should work. Especially if
Yes.
it's not an EMP.
If it's a ground detonation, yeah, but if it's an in-air detonation, the EMP travels over an extended distance. If it's ground detonation, you should be all right with a Polaroid.
Yeah, it's the Polaroid would be more likely to work than a cell phone. But fun fact for if the nukes do drop, for anyone who wants to know, if when cars will die, but any cars that are not based on technology, so pretty much the 60s and back, all they will need is a battery that has not been fried. And if you replace that, they will work because they don't have the technology that will be fried. So, just a tip.
Also, if you have a manual, you can always pop start it.
Yeah, that too.
Although we live in the U.S., we don't believe in manuals over here.
I
That's not true. I drive a manual.
I have a Volvo, like a 2006 little Volvo, but it has turbo on it, which is pretty fun.
Jesus. Goddamn hooligan.
And I'm a woman and I'm from Chicago, so I'm a double bad driver.
At least you're not Asian, though.
Well, technically, what
Uh,
says
all right, hold on. I'll make sure to step on the sidewalk from now on.
I've gone on the
Just
sidewalk before. The one,
those are 20. Those are 23 of the some on deaths in Chicago you've never heard about.
no, the one time I did go up on the sidewalk, it was actually because it was like super snowy and I could not tell the road from the ground, and I just wound up completely driving on a curb like at the crosswalk on the sidewalk. I'm like, oh, fuck my life.
How do you not feel that?
Oh, I did, but I had to finish driving over it.
All right. Fair enough.
Oh, it was bad. I had like 3 people in the car, and oh, what the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to play pedestrian polo.
Yeah.
Look, there's Granny in a wheelchair. Ain't for.
Yeah. Hey, there was one time, I have my ex is a very terrible human being. He's not even a human. You know, he is a subhuman. He is classified as subhuman. But one time I was at the mall I actually work at now, and it was before I worked there. But I was waiting for I was picking my friend up there, and I saw my ex walk. I was like just parked in front of it, just waiting. So there was a crosswalk in front of me, and my ex, I see him walking across the crosswalk. It was so hard not to just slam the gas pedal.
Well, if the government comes asking, I didn't hear anything, I didn't see anything, I don't even know who this person is.
Well, I did not slam the gas pedal. It was just very, very tempting to.
Well, to be fair, I never intended to kill any of my exes. I would have been knifed by one.
Yeah. No, I'm on I I'm on good terms with the first guy I dated, but yeah, the other ex, not so much.
It can be pretty brutal. Max France says the throttle got jammed. Wink, wink.
My gas pedal just got stuck, guys. I'm sorry.
I thought I was in reverse.
I meant to put it in reverse. It was just a prank, bro.
It was just a prank, bruh.
Bruh, it was a prank.
In my experiences, most people at least have one bad ex in their lifetime.
Oh, he's worse than bad. He's terrible.
Utterly disgusting, vile garbage. I know the
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah. Just that one. I wish very bad things upon you.
Got a little hex doll in the back room. I don't even believe it'll happen, bro. I'm gonna keep doing it because it makes me feel better.
Oh, actually, I went after he broke up with me. I should have dumped him, but after he broke up with me, I made I played The Sims a lot, and I made a character in The Sims that looked like him, and I killed the character in every way possible I could in the game.
Hmm.
That's how I
I,
got
s-
Fever out.
I sense in an underground or an underlying amount of anger.
Yeah, I was a little angry. But I don't really care about him anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the best parts about a relationship that fucks up. You move on.
Yeah, it's been 5 years now, so a while ago. Half a decade.
Yeah. It's year 2012. Shit, I was
Yeah,
21.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. I just turned one. Well, not even, actually not 5 years ago. It's 2018 now, so.
Yeah, I can't believe it's 2018. I'm still adjusting to like it being 2014. I'm still adjusting it to being like 2010. I'm
A few
having a
years,
hard time.
you're running a few years behind, are you?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time comprehending that in just 2 years, the 90s will be 30 years ago.
I didn't need to hear that.
At the store I work in, we sell like you know, bowls and bongs and whatnot, and CBD oils and stuff. So we have to card people, and it. I don't feel too weird carding someone whose birthday's in '99, even if it's December like 31st, '99. It doesn't feel so weird. But now that it's 2018, it just does not feel right carding someone whose birthday is in 2000.
Your birthday was Y2K.
Yeah, you. It. I say I will look at a person who was born December 31st in '99 and a person born January 1st in 2000. I will think of them completely differently.
It's one of those things to me like yeah, I'm not an old person by any means. Like I'm in my mid 20s. It's like I'm not that old, and I'm thinking is like, oh my god, people that were born in 2000 are like are now becoming or that are born in the 2000s, 2000 in that year are legally being old enough to buy tobacco and in some cases marijuana products. It's like, huh?
They're adults.
Maybe I'm not as young as I thought I was.
Yeah, I feel old all the time. I think part of it's because of how quickly technology's advanced. I remember like being in elementary school and like the computer labs, and there'd be like five of those giant computers, and they'd like teach us how to use a keyboard, and it was like this rare opportunity. And now there's like kids with just walking around with tablets. What
Yeah,
happened?
I remember when I was 18 and I got my first flip phone.
Yeah, I remember getting mine. I thought it was so cool. I could only send 60 text messages a month.
No, that's peak technology right there.
You want to know something funny? My dad still
What's
has a
that?
flip phone.
So does my dad. So does my boss actually.
My boss has a lot of updated. He has like always the newest stuff. My boss is hilarious. Though. I like my boss. Good man.
I like watching like when my parents are typing on a computer and they got like the computer in front of them and like used to all the home keys and everything I had when I was younger and they're sitting there and they're like with one finger like typing each individual letter.
Oh yeah, I like the way my mom uses her smartphone, where she uses her like pointer finger to scroll through and text and look at like things like
just
really
just
like precisely.
just you could just I said, oh my art, I'm done. I can't take the slowness anymore. Let me see this thing.
You could just use your thumb and yeah, okay.
I don't know how to use my thumb.
Yeah, it's it it cracks me up just seeing just because the people who are getting older now like really are like what the fuck with the technology, and it's like it's endearing to watch them like figure it out.
Yeah, but then you remember that's gonna be you in the future.
Yeah, I think about that. Oh my god.
You're like, it was funny back then. It's not so funny now.
Yeah, I remember Grandma. Back in my day, we used this thing called Google Hangouts on YouTube.
You think you have work hard? Back in my day, I had to walk to the sun every day and lick it. Yeah, shut the fuck up, Grandpa. I've been there.
Back in my
Not
day,
literally in that situation. That's what it feels like.
back in my day, we had to have phones to text. We didn't do it in our heads.
We had we had phone sex. We didn't have virtual reality sex. What kind of newfangled shit is this?
My God. Yeah, basically.
Can you imagine trying to explain sexting to your grandchildren?
I, uh, yeah, it's not something I would.
uh, what do you get out of it? You just, I don't know.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I see myself as being like that perpetually drunk grandma that like is just insane. Like, I raised my kids. I've been responsible my way. I'm retired now. I'm gonna party.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I did my dues. I deserve a beer
Yeah,
or 100.
yeah, a couple hundred. Why is Bobby Fischer says what? This is why you youngsters can't read, write, or do arithmetic.
To
I
be fair, to be fair, in defense of that, I not only have better grammar than her because I know her personally, but I also do math better than she does. She didn't, so do not listen to her.
no, I can read. I can write pretty well when I'm actually writing and not just typing on social media. Because I tend to type on social media like I talk, which you probably figure out not actually talking to me. Um, but so I kind of come off as not the best, but when I actually focus, I can write. And as for math, I'm really good at it once I catch on to it. It takes me a moment. Like, it takes me a bit to like catch on to something, but once I do, I am an unstoppable force of power. I become Einstein.
It sounds an awful lot like the Russians with the alcohol. We take the potato, we ferment the potato, we drink the potato.
Drink the drink the potato. Oh yeah, when that not the big one, the Kilroy thing was falling apart. I liked when the woman is base mama who's organizing it goes, I have a very high IQ. I guess 140 is very high. I was like, oh, yeah, I doubt it. I think you meant 40 because someone who's actually has that level of an IQ is smart enough not to brag about their high IQ.
Also, usually they're well aware of the fact that they have a higher IQ.
Yeah, my IQ is about 140. I guess that's kind of intelligent.
I heard
Okay.
100. I heard 140 is a high number.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bad.
along with the 85,000 some odd dollars you got, that was a high number too. Smartass.
I'd like to whack her upside the head too. And I was kind of
I
excited. I
never.
wanted to go to that.
I mean, I was excited to see what it would have became. But then again, seeing what it had become, I'm just sitting here and I'm rubbing my eyes. I'm like,
Yeah, like if it had actually been like a true free speech event, I was gonna be so pumped for that because I'm so pro free speech and I love listening to people with like different opinions and whatnot, and I just like discussing it, and I just love the beauty of people being able to say whatever the fuck they want. But yeah, I was really pumped when they first announced it, and then I saw it going to shit, and I was like, this this really sucks. base. Oh, I said base moves. I'm still going to meet Andy though. I wish I had had a more productive first encounter with Andy. I think he thinks I'm just a drunk dumbass.
She wasn't drunk. She was high. There's a difference.
I was high. Maybe I'll, maybe one day. Maybe one day.
I knew you were high. I could smell it.
I really wasn't. I just mics just make me sound like that. If I had been high or drunk, I would have been talking, and I would have come off as actually retarded.
Well, one of these days, I'm gonna have to suit you something when you're high, because that's gonna be fucking hilarious.
Yeah, actually,
Uh,
if you don't mind, I
do you
can.
mind?
I will run actually and grab my vodka and Sprite, and I will drink with you.
All right, you go ahead. I gotta use the bathroom anyway.
All right,
I'll be right
we'll be
back.
back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Let me know if you can hear me. I muted my. I did a good job on the stream. No, I didn't. It was yeah, this stream was I had no idea what was going on.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, Booberly says, oh, I know you did a good job on the stream. It seemed like it was a surprise to you. Yes, it was. I was shookest.
Are you still there?
Yeah. Sorry, I was just taking a sip of vodka.
Goddamn Russians.
I told you I'm a fucking stereotype.
It's only a stereotype if you're riding around in a tank.
I wish I had a tank.
I can't argue with you. I wish I had one too.
I want one like in the interview. In the movie.
I'd settle for an M1 Abram. I mean, I'm not selfish.
I'd like to ride around with Kim Jong-un in a tank.
I'd fist fight him
punch
for.
him.
I'd fist fight him for the only food he has in his country.
He has a lot. It's just all in his stomach.
Fine then, I'm gonna cook the fat guy.
Oh, good fat guy.
A human is the other white meat.
I'd love to take him on in a boxing ring. I'll take that motherfucker on. I'll take Destiny on too while I'm at it. I'll take them both on and beat both their asses on. I'm 5'2".
To be fair with Destiny,
35 pounds.
To be fair with Destiny, all you gotta do is like put your hand out and hold his head back. He'd swing at you like some like a retard humping a football. With Kim Jong Un, you just gotta run around and just gotta run around the ring till he gets tired and gets worn out.
You know, with him, I just gotta. I feel like he just kind of bounce off me. I just have to like turn to the side and kind of bump my hip out, hit his stomach, and he'll just kind of bounce off me and fall down.
I'm not sure that's how physics work.
It works in that sense. It works in that scenario.
If you say so.
In
After all,
that
it is
scenario.
science.
Science. I'm a YouTube scientist. YouTube academic.
There we go. That's instead of saying YouTube scientist, we're just like YouTube academic. I'm a YouTube academic. All right, I'm the highest credentialed YouTube academic.
Yeah, it cracks me up. It's like I know what I'm talking about a little bit. Like I said, I did take I did study early childhood development, so I know a little bit about it. But I am by no means an expert or an academic in any way. I'm not in school right now or anything at all. Hopefully soon, but you know.
Yeah, life happens.
Yeah, well, I actually want to go into nuclear engineering, so that's gonna take some saving up for. But I'll
Yeah,
be able to
you're
pay
gonna
that loan off real quick.
you're gonna have to hoard a whole shitload of uranium and plutonium.
Now the average salary for a lower level position is over 100 grand.
I'm not surprised in the least, considering the amount of effort the amount of money that you had to spend, and the amount of effort you had to spend, and actually get a degree and get a job in that situation.
Yeah, well, the schooling is it's a little more expensive than usual, but you can pay that loan off pretty quick with that much, especially if you get a high that's with a bachelor's degree. So if you get a master's or a PhD, which is what I would want to get, you'll be making hella money.
Don't say hella.
Hella swag fag.
I will nuke your house.
Swag. I got swag. Hella swag. Literally hella swag. Literally hella swag, bro.
But wham, and are oppressed and struggle in science because of patriarchy.
Yeah, I that's what cracks me up is when feminists to talk about like women in women in STEM, and I've never been a feminist, and that's something I plan on going into, and I never needed feminism to encourage me to go into that. It seems more like feminism encourages you to go into women's studies and gender studies, not fucking STEM field.
Right. In regards to this, real quick, if you don't mind, G Money in the Bank says, "I think you'd be surprised how gay being an engineer is." I know him personally. He is an engineer. Um,
Nuclear
in
engineers
regards
could
to
blow
that,
shit up. We could do
when I
that.
go to when I went to school for my engineering degree, I'm not going to specify which area it was in, but yeah, it was pretty fucking lame, and it was pretty very boring and very office. So keep that in mind. You may not get the opportunity to blow shit up.
Oh
But
no,
that
yeah.
also depends. That also depends on where you end up in the engineering field as well, too.
I want to go into the actual like. I don't want to just be behind the desk. I want to build a nuke.
You might want to think about the military then, in that sense.
Nah, because they just fire them. I gotta build one. I can't be in the military anyway because I like
You cut out.
mission. It causes hyperextension and like easy bleeding and stuff. And so they would just turn me down. Also, I'm kind of short.
You're also kind of short. Five. What do you say? You were 5'2"?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty short.
yeah,
I won't hold it against you though.
yeah. I wear shoes that give me about 2.5 inch 2.5 inch height lift. Maybe I should send a pair to Destiny before I fight him. Might help him out. I'll go barefoot. I'll give him my shoes.
I'm giving you the advantage because you look like you need a handicap. After all, you're already handicapped.
I hate that guy so much. The thing that pisses me off is he says he's an economist. I'm pretty sure he's lying, but if he's actually is, explains why economy is shit because he does not know what he's talking about.
Well,
And he
you
says
can
he's a
go ahead.
capitalist. He says he's a capitalist. He is not a capitalist.
Well, he's as much of a capitalist as I am a communist, but do continue.
Yeah, no, just hearing him talk about that makes me cringe so hard. Like he has his grasp of economics is so elementary. It's so like idealistic. Well, if we build up Mexico and make them stronger, they'll feed into our economy and make us better. Well, like, okay, in a perfect world, yeah, but this is not a perfect world.
We're not
Maybe
piping
literally,
around
I was the
rainbows.
one that started Destiny.
Destiny.
I started that in the that 12-hour stream. I just kept spamming Destiny.
I'm not gonna take claim to California, but I had a big hand in California.
California.
So California. But in regards to Mexico, we touched on that in a capitalist sense. Yeah, oh, sure, we build them. What you're trying to say is we work as a bank. We front them all the money, and we hope that they actually uphold their end of the contract.
Yeah, that's why I was like, the fuck are you talking about?
In a
We've
perfect, in a
seen,
perfect, in a perfect world, when you're piping around rainbows and unicorns.
yeah, we've tried this before, where we give a country a bunch of money to build themselves up, but we've seen how well that's worked. Why the fuck would I do it again? We have so much debt too. Like, if you understand economics, you should probably be thinking maybe we shouldn't be giving away money.
Well, in reality, situation, you look at the debt that we have. And
Hmm?
you look at the debt we have, and you're like, oh well, we should give away more money to build up a southern border.
Yeah, no, I, I'm not a. I don't think we need an actual wall in regards to the border. I think that's a bit much, but I do support increased patrol and fences and stuff and whatnot. I support it as a concept, but not an actual friggin' wall.
Well, we don't even have a wall now at this point. We just have a fence. But the fact of the matter is, the laws that we have in place aren't being enforced. Those that are being caught here in the borders of the United States illegally aren't being reprimanded for their actions. That's where the issue lies.
Yeah,
And I made
that and
this.
the
And I
border
made.
patrol is insufficient too, and the fencing isn't great. Like, I don't think like when I say I don't think we need a wall, I'm talking about like 4 or 5 electric fences with a bunch of barbed wire in between. That kind of thing. Maybe a spike pit.
We could just throw some alligators in Rio Grande and see how that works.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I support increased patrol. I'm very nationalist. I'm free trade, but I also believe in nationalism, which I know is a little contradictory, but I could explain. Like, I don't think I'll articulate myself best, and I don't want to come off as a dumbass.
Well, in regards to nationalism versus free trade works within the borders of the United States under our own laws. The problem when
Yeah,
you deal with it in outside countries, you deal with different taxes, different tariffs, and different laws and regulations regarding said free trade. When you're
yeah,
dealing
exactly.
with when you're dealing with the United States, if you were to deal with an isolationist system, you would say that the tariffs fund the federal government,
Yeah,
not taxes. Therefore, taxes become null and void. That would be the ultimate end of a libertarian point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. I also think that I think everything should be privatized, and I think those companies should decide if they should be the ones deciding if they want to engage in trade and marketing with other countries, regardless of the country. The government shouldn't have a say in that. It's a private fucking company.
Well, the
The
reality of the
government.
situation is,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. It's fine.
The other side of that is you have to deal with, you know, these ideas make sense in a lot of ways, but you also have to deal with the ramifications of suddenly switching to this mentality as well, which is the reason why, while I may say that taxation is extortion, and I do
Mm-hmm.
believe that entirely, I have no issue with whatsoever the concept of a flat tax or a consumer tax either. It's a far
That's
better tax
exactly
system,
what I
a more
think.
structured tax system than what we have now.
Yeah.
Max France and Chet says that free trade is great if it's mutually beneficial. Well, if you're dealing with a capitalist society and the core basis of things, you only deal with trade if it was mutually beneficial.
Yeah, if it's a capitalist society with free trade with another capitalist society, yeah, that's going to be great. But like where we are with China, and we're not even capitalist in America, we're corporatist. But yeah, it doesn't really work all that well, especially when you get the government involved in it. My problem is the government getting.
The reality of the situation is we are the most capitalist society on the planet now, as sad as that may be.
Yeah, that's what makes me sad.
That we are the definition of freedom.
Yeah, definitely.
Huzzah!
Yeah. Oh,
Although
good.
to, although to be fair, Max France, who's in the chat right now, is actually not of United States heritage, so he understands the envy of the First Amendment, despite how much the cunts that live in this country try to tear it down and get rid of as much as possible.
Yeah, I want to take a moment to read something. There doesn't seem to be any like leftists in the chat, but I can't remember this. I can't remember the whole thing off the top of my head, but I want to read exactly what the Second Amendment is because I think it's important to remind people. And I know we talked about this. It's the right to bear arms, and where is the exact?
It's not very long.
Yeah, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. For those who don't understand, that says, if the government tries to take your rights away, you organize yourselves as citizens, and you take the government back. Don't give them your guns.
Well, I'll never give you away this. Sadly, despite the fact that the United States was developed back in the late 1700s, early 1800s, the reality of the situation is we had totalitarian governments ever since then. We had Nazi Germany, we had Stalinistic USSR, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And even before then, you had situations like Japan.
Yeah.
Now, the one society that did stand out amongst all of those was the Viking tribes.
Mm-hmm.
And a sign of a free man was an armed man.
Right.
Now the reality of the situation is that makes a lot of sense because the individual's ability to defend their own rights is based upon their ability to defend themselves against an outside antagonizer that want to take those rights away from them, aka put them into slavery, tax them, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah. Isn't that kind of what our
So
government's trying to do?
yes, essentially is what the government is trying to do. So when you say like, and it sickens me because a lot of these stringent actions are put upon people based upon the concept of the quote unquote greater good. After we'll say the most recent situation in the Las Vegas shooting,
Mm-hmm.
which was horrible and deplorable and disgusting. But despite the fact that there's a lot of not a lot of information known about, 100% known about. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but
Yeah.
those aside, the information is near null and void. And
Yeah.
immediately after that, there was a major push, mainly from the left and some of the right
Of
as
course.
well, to restrict firearm usage
Yeah.
and firearm rights. And then all of a sudden, when it came to its conclusion, there's not a fucking word spoken of it now. Just it
Yeah.
died off. Nobody said anything about it.
Yeah, and the one that really pissed me off was that shooting in, I believe, Texas with that church. It's tragic, and no one would talk about it because the murderer, the man who shot up the church and killed all those people, he was taken down by two legally armed civilians. And the man had obtained, well, it was legal. The government had been the ones who fucked up in his history of crime, and he should not have been allowed to have a gun. But yeah, no one was talking about that because it showed the effectiveness of citizens having guns. Well, the left at least wasn't talking about it.
To conquer a nation first, disarm its citizens. Adolf Hitler.
Yep.
An armed society is a free society, or as I prefer, an armed society is a polite society.
Yeah.
So, speaking in the concepts of philosophy, are you fluent in John Locke by any chance?
No, I'm not.
Do you know where the concept of American pride and freedom comes from when it comes to pursuit of happiness?
Um, I feel like I am, but I don't want to say for sure because I don't want to speak on something and be wrong. I'm not going to pretend to be positive on something I'm not.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Can't blame him for that. Um, John Locke released a series of theses and essays upon his deathbed because he was so afraid. Keep in mind, John Locke was alive during the 1600s, which was still under monarch rule where he lived.
Yeah.
When he released these documents, it was basically there are three rights that every man, essentially by man he means human, has:
Hmm.
life, liberty, and, well, he said property, which property eventually evolved into the pursuit of happiness when it was inducted into the constitutions of the forefathers and those that wrote the Constitution.
Yeah.
This is the reason why a lot of people say the First Amendment protects the Second Amendment, which in a lot of ways it makes sense, because if you're aware of American history, we started a revolt. There was a lot of shady shit that the Crown was doing to suppress free speech, harboring soldiers without the consent of homeowners in their own households and whatnot, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. I
And,
think the First and Second Amendment kind of protect each other.
well, yeah, yeah, it makes entire sense when you look at it, because you have the ability to speak. Well, what if somebody violent comes out and says that you're not allowed to say those things? We have the ability to defend yourself with a firearm. What if that person has a firearm? We have a firearm too. Well, armed society is a polite society.
Mutually assured destruction.
Well, it worked before,
Yep.
as disturbing as the ends might have been. But humans are a naturally brash and irrational species when you boil it all down to things.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have to give us a little credit because the Cold War never went hot. So we're not entirely retarded, but give a little credit there.
Yeah, time's not over yet. It's not 2077 yet.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the actual with the Soviet Union, like not the I guess mini Cold War that's going on now.
At this point, it's not even a Cold War. It's just if you fuck with us, we're gonna turn you to ash war. Although, to be fair, I did make this point very valid, that if North Korea develops an underwater sub that they can get to within a border of a multitude of coastal cities, they actually can deal quite a blow to the United States.
Yeah, yeah. When I was watching your video, I completely agreed with that point. That's why I do think Kim needs to be taken out. It's just how the fuck do we go about this without him arming the nukes?
Hmm. Get rid of all the stray cats in South Korea.
Hmm?
Get rid of all the stray cats in South Korea. God knows that's where they're getting their food source from.
God. Uh, one really has to wonder though how successful his nukes would even be since they've never done an above ground test. They've only done underground, and the difference between an underground and above ground is massive.
As far as the warhead goes,
Yeah, an actual nuclear warhead.
well, I mean, a nuclear warhead is still a nuclear warhead. Even if it was a dirty bomb, it'd still be devastating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's just the effectiveness of how it's going to be carried on the missile because of all the weight it adds to the missile.
True, but from what I understand, the casings and everything that they use for the fuselage and the demo model, everything was of attributed weight. So I'm assuming they just slapped something to the end of the Hua song and called it what essentially would be a nuclear missile at that, or a nuclear warhead at that point, and did the arc test to see how it would develop.
Yeah, yeah. No, there's a good chance it would work, and I feel like there's also a good chance it wouldn't. Uh,
Well,
I kind of wonder what they take into account sometimes.
well, to be honest, with North Korea, you never know. The leader's a goddamn madman.
Yeah, really. Well, there was that one time he tried to claim that a disco ball, what was resembled a disco ball, was a hydrogen bomb. First of all, it was about the size of a person's head. That can't be a hydrogen bomb. This was in like 2013, I want to say.
I have
But
my head in the ball. It is a hydrogen bomb. Yeah.
yeah, it was bad.
Okay there.
It was bad. I was just looking at it like, okay, that's a disco ball you got there, buddy. That's just a fucking disco ball. They say they have one now too, which is funny because that just proves they lied about that.
The reality situation is, I'm wondering if the more that they lie, the more that they hide. Like, oh yeah, we have a hydrogen bomb, but we're also working on this. Well, we distract you with said hydrogen bomb. See this hydrogen bomb we have in our right hand while we fiddle with sticks in the left hand?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It could be going that way. It also could be going there, bluffing entirely.
It's always a possibility as well too. I mean,
Yeah,
the reality of the situation is, given the circumstances, even if he did try anything, he didn't have an actual warhead, a multitude of warheads even, provided that they all fired, we have the technology to take them out from intercontinental range.
yeah, yeah. Said South Korea is gonna just shoot their nuke right back down at them.
Yeah, that's one of my biggest worries about, is even if they don't have nuclear weapons, there's still ballistic missiles that they do have that are not that difficult to figure out and know how to work. And
Oh
South
yeah,
Korea is very much so an ally and very much so a target.
yeah. But yeah, ballistic missiles and even nukes. I'm not talking about a hydrogen bomb. I'm talking about the atomic bomb. Aren't even necessarily that hard to make. They're expensive, and that's why a lot of countries don't have them, and that's why you don't see people on their own developing them. I mean, they're difficult to make, obviously, but I'm saying they're not. It's not. It can be done if you know what you're doing.
Well, of course it can be. And of course, if you have a certain number of engineers and scientists under the payroll and a certain amount of time and money to attribute to them, sure, yeah, you can get a large number of people together to work on it.
Oh
and
yeah,
figure it out.
people could. Someone,
Of course,
if they had the money, they could build a crude nuke at home.
no, yeah, but we'll not get into that. I don't think the FBI beating on my door tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That'd still be incredibly expensive, though. That's the thing, is that no one can afford that. There was that kid. This was like he 14, and he built a nuclear reactor in his mom's garage.
Something smells like cancer.
That's so funny. I would
Was
be
it,
so proud if my kid did that. I'd be like, yes, you get a cookie.
also, you might want to see a doctor.
Yeah, you get a cookie, then we're gonna make sure you don't have radiation poisoning.
And me too.
Yeah, me.
And the dog, and the cat, and the neighbors.
Here's the radioactive cookies.
Look, it already has a rad roach on it.
Oh god. I remember the first time I played Fallout 4 and the roaches came at me and I couldn't see them from behind me. And I was just, what the fuck? What is happening?
I think the worst jump scare I ever had from fucking Fallout 4 specifically was the fucking rad scorpion.
Oh god.
I had the lights off and everything. I was just playing a game, minding my own business, first fucking playthrough. All of a sudden, like, it happened like 10 minutes after I saw like a daddy long legs crawl down from the ceiling in front of my face. I was already like, spider!
Oh god.
I didn't kill it. Like, I picked it up and I was like, get the fuck out of here. I don't care. I'm like playing again. All of a sudden, this thing pops in front of me. I'm like, big spider!
Big spider! Spider! Yeah, I freaking hate
Kill
spider.
it! Kill it! Kill the fire!
You just throw your controller at the TV.
Ah! not quite, but I did jump back pretty far.
Dear God, yeah, that would have. I would have probably died of fear. A question for you and the chat: Have you? Has anyone seen the movie The Day After, or Threads, or the funny one, Doctor Strangelove?
I've seen The Day After and Doctor Strangelove.
Okay, yeah, I love The Day After. It's a good movie. Threads is everyone says Threads is more disturbing, but I actually found The Day After to be a little more disturbing because the Threads, the de-evolution they showed was so unrealistic that language would not be lost in a single generation. But it's a good movie. You should check it out. But I like The Day After better. But Doctor Strangelove is hilarious.
Have you ever seen the music video for the Offspring? What the fuck is it called? It's named after Doctor Strangelove.
I haven't, but I will have to check that out.
I'll send you the link after. I'll send you a text or something afterwards. It's fucking hilarious. It's essentially the same sense. You ride the missile to hell, is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
scene I feel like is an accurate representation of me if there's a nuclear war.
Well, I'm gonna die anyway. Where's the last
Hop on that
one?
nuke. Hop on the nuke.
Hey, I wonder what this button does.
Yeah, I draw, and I can send you a picture after the stream. I drew a picture as like it's a really shitty cartoon, like drawing of I titled it "Why to Never Vote My Ass, Prez." Just a little cartoon of me tempted to press the nuclear button and pressing it, and I regret nothing. I would be very tempted. I wouldn't, but I'd be tempted.
The reality of the situation is like, humanity's had a good run. We might evolve. One of the jokes I always remembered is like, you humans don't think aliens have visited us? Of course they visited us. And you're like, Nah, we'll come back in like 10,000 years when your heads are bigger. And that was like 2 years ago.
I I forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say something about aliens.
Aliens are an interesting discussion because we always say, we talk about humans and how intelligent we are. In reality, at the end of the day, you take a group of people and you strip away all of the technology. We are still animals. We
Yeah.
are freaking animals.
Yeah,
There is nothing.
absolutely.
There is nothing special about us other than our higher intellect. I will give it. That's the reason why we are an apex predator, is because we have the ability to adapt because of our higher intellect.
Yeah, absolutely. I have two things about aliens I want to say. I'll go over the first one first because it's quicker. I think that with aliens, the possibilities of really having a relationship with another an actual other race is unlikely because of the fact that they could need completely different conditions to live in than we do. They might need a planet that is 2,000 degrees at all times. They might need massive amounts of radiation. It'd be completely different than us. Why are we going to assume that aliens are going to live in the same way we do? And second of all, has anyone heard of the Kardashev scale? It really doesn't have so much to do with aliens, but about evolution of society.
Are you talking about a tiered list based upon the scientific and evolutionary status of an individual,
Um,
based upon the technology that they have?
so it's a level of different societies, and there's 7 predicted ones. It's a theory, but it's very interesting. Let me grab a link for it, and I can post it in the chat for everyone. And it's not the Kardashian scale; it's the Kardashev. I said the Kardashev once, and someone thought I said Kardashian, and they were like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
If you're gonna post in the public chat, I'm gonna need to give you a wrench first.
Okay, right, going for
So you,
wrench.
I can't give you a wrench until you show up in chat.
Okay, let me just type something random.
And moderated. So you should be able to post now.
Okay, I want to find a good link for it that explains it the best. But that's simple. Okay, this one just yeah, this is a good link. I'm gonna post this in the chat so anyone who wants to check it out.
Oh my god, boobs. No, just kidding.
Boobs, boobs. But yeah, it's basically levels of civilization. Um, so basically, like the first level is the capacity to harness all the energy of its home planet. Um, and the second is total energy potential of a star. And third is the energy to harness the energy of the galaxy, and it just keeps going up. But that's the basic idea, is how powerful civilization levels and whatnot. And it's interesting because when people want to prove prove that God is real, as I say, instead of pointing to the Bible, there is a good scientific theory you could use to make that argument better. And that's that a type 7 civilization, it can create universes and control them just like out of their fingertips.
Um, G Money in the Bank, and I am getting the same result from that link that you posted. It says the webpage doesn't exist.
Hmm? Let me double check.
I noticed you didn't put the www dot before, but I'm assuming G Money already did his research and tried to figure it out. So
Let me try it again. If it doesn't work, I'll try and find a different link. I'll put www on its own link.
now, you being a gamer, I have to ask a question. Do you did you know in any way, shape, or form the evolutionary scale based upon the Halo universe
No,
with the tiers?
I haven't played much of that.
Well, essentially, it bases the tiered system is based upon scientific level as far as like space travel and whatnot goes.
Hmm.
And most species, as obviously we are, we've made it to the moon and we spent probes out to Mars and everything, but you're dealing with, well, I'll tell you this tiers in order. Tier 7 is pre-industrial. This is before stable states, limited weaponry, environmental threats, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're not industrialized. The industrial age, then you have the atomic age, then you have the space age, and you first venture out into space. That's tier 4, by the way.
Hmm. Okay, I'm seeing if
Tier
I can
3,
find a link to this since that one's still not working. Sorry, go ahead.
so tier 3 is spacefaring.
Hmm.
So we have slip space navigation, mass drivers, asynchronous linear induction weapons, hollow crystal storage, and semi-sentient AIs. We are nowhere near that level yet. We're still in tier 4, under a fictional scale of how developed we are.
Hmm. That one gave me completely wrong link. My computer does not want to work. Yeah, I'll have to. I've always been interested in. I've heard very good things about Halo. I have to play sometime.
The lore is very interesting, needless to say. It's got a lot of bibliographical references to it, which, albeit for me, I'm not a very religious person, but still is interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I tend to play more of the open world, shoot you in the face type games. GTA is my thing. I love GTA.
PC Master Race, fuck you.
Hey, PC is a good platform if you're playing The Sims. And The Sims 4 sucks. The Sims 3 is amazing if you install the right mods. If you install the right mods, you can get a gun and kill someone, and when the Reaper comes, you can kill the Reaper with the gun and kill death itself like a badass motherfucker.
Yeah, PC Master Race my ass. I can download all the
It's
same
actually really
mods that
badass.
you can.
I am a monument to all your sins. You spelled your that is not the right grammar. I'm triggered.
Your sins.
You are
Possessive.
sin. You are
It,
sin.
I'm a monument to all of your sins.
Yeah, because it should be Youre, because that the way you spelled it is the short for you are.
Console is a great platform if you want your games to look like they did 10 years ago on PC. Yeah, except 10 years from now, I'll still be playing the same games
Yeah.
on the same console
Yeah, Unholy
with
Bullet
no
3 is again
payment.
yours. Yeah, no,
Goddamn, we got some genuine PC evangelists in the goddamn crowd today.
no, I actually highly recommend The Sims 3, but you just gotta get the right mods to make it cool.
I gotta get some mods for Fallout 4. I have only a few attached to my Fallout 4 game, and it's starting to get to the point where I'm like, all right, I need a few more,
Yeah, I don't have any
and
mods in mine.
and then a few more, and then a few more,
Mods are fucking amazing. Mods are everything.
until the game breaks.
Then when you download a bad mod. I started trying to do some mods for The Sims 3, but then I got busy and I never finished it. And then I kind of forgot about how exactly I was doing it, and I just haven't gone back to trying to do it again.
I've never been. I lost a lot of my intuitiveness when it came to computers a while back when I stopped actually like getting involved in them. But that's a life story for another time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure we'll talk after this many times, so you can always tell me it there or on another stream. But yeah, no, I've lost a lot of my computer. Sorry, I just put my microphone in my hand. My computer skills since I got a tablet and an upgraded smartphone because I tend to use those more than a computer itself. And now I go on the computer and I'm like, this is old school.
You want to talk about old school? Bobby Fischer just posted in the chat. She said Dragon's Revenge, an ancient as pinball game.
Oh god.
Shinobi, ancient as Sega game. Spyro, fucking PS1 for the win.
But
And
do you play Nintendo 64?
I played Nintendo 64, but I was a generation before that. I played the Sega Genesis.
I love Nintendo 64. That was it was new when I was young, and Kirby and the Crystal Shards. Mwah, I love that game.
Never had a Sega Genesis though, huh?
No,
Never played Shinobi. Did you ever play Spyro?
no, I don't believe I have. I've played a lot of games, but like I've only wound up playing them like once because I didn't have it. I was just like playing on someone else's, you know.
All right, I gotcha. Fair enough, fair enough.
You know what game is fun? Is that I can't think of what it's called, and I only played it like twice. But that game where it's like pointless, but you just get a ball and you just roll around and like take the like make a like it just collects the world and turns it into a gigantic ball.
Oh, fuck's sake, what the hell is that called? Oh, Little Big Planet.
Yeah, yeah. I love that.
Uh, I never got into it. To be honest with you, I never got into it. But to be fair, I went from a transition straight from PlayStation to PlayStation 2 to Xbox 360. Sadly, I know Sony fanboys will crucify me for that, but to this day, my heart is still with the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. They will forever lie in a place that I cannot explain because, quite frankly, it wasn't even like the ingenuity or the graphics or anything. It was just like the ability to storytell and everything at the time.
Yeah, I have a PlayStation 4 right now that I mainly use when I play games. I haven't had a chance to play as much lately, but I got a PlayStation 4. And my Nintendo 64, which I have to get fixed. But
Oh, that's what happens when you drop a brick on it.
I never dropped a brick on it. It just, I've had it for so long. It's like, with the old cartridges, having to put it in, it just kind of like wore the, God, I can't think of what.
The pins.
Yeah, it wore them down over time.
There's a little trick to that. If you take a brand new regular metal screwdriver,
Okay.
you might need to look this up because it might need to be a certain brand. But if you just brush it down the pegs,
Okay.
it usually brightens up the connections. It's not only just brighten up the connections, it also rid of a lot of the dust that's on them.
Okay, I'll have to
It usually
try
helps.
that. I have to try that.
Look it up though,
Oh
because
yeah,
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
sure.
look it up first.
I'm
I
not
just,
sure if it has to be like stainless steel or like an old fashioned chromium screwdriver or whatever it was, but it used to be one of the tricks I used to use.
okay, I'll have to check that out. Or I'll have to look into that.
G Money in the Mix says I've got an N64 emulator and all the games made for it on my PC. PC Master Race for the win.
The true
Is this like
superior race.
is this like the six is this like a 64 scenario?
64.
Fuck your 14 words and fucking 88 words or whatever the fuck it is. Now it's 64 bits and 64 bits, bitch. I get all the games.
All the games.
We don't let we don't like your games, they go to the back of the oven.
Pack me up. Gas the games.
I'm sorry, that's just the German side of me. It's natural.
It's just the German. I can't help it.
To be fair, even on this old ass computer, I have a PlayStation and a Game Boy emulator, so I can't complain too much.
Yeah.
Every now and again, I'm like, PlayStation. I want to play a little Crash Bandicoot today. It's not the same on a keyboard. Fuck this shit. I'm out.
Yeah, there's some games that are like The Sims. I hate like the PlayStation or Xbox versions. I can't even remember what it's on exactly because I never played it on those. But I played it once at my friend's house and I hated it. That one's got to be on the PC. But when it's like GTA or something, you got to be playing that on like PlayStation.
Yeah, it's got to be on console.
Yeah, you got to have that on a console. You can't have that on PC. If a game is originally designed for a console, you gotta play it on a console. If it's originally designed for PC, you gotta play it on a PC.
I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. If you don't, you just gotta slash your wrists on the altar of the console gods.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're disowned. You're disowned.
Your PC is fast enough to play Game Boy games. Yes, if I turn off my internet and shut down all of my windows. I'm just joking. That's the PC games.
I like when I hear the term PC. I think of like gaming on a PC, not political correctness. Why'd they have to take the word? Why'd they have to take PC?
I heard this thing the other day, and it was PC. It was a computer game. Oh, you're talking about? Never mind. I'm out. Fuck this shit. I'm gone. See you later. It's like your head just pops in. Video games? Oh,
video games?
I'm sorry. You're whining about some insignificant bullshit. I don't care. Never mind.
You're whining about video games again.
Video game. I remember back in the '80s, video games incite violence.
God.
Back in the '90s, nobody gave a shit. 2000s, video games nobody cares about video games. 2000 and some odd years later, well, now we have video games create sexism.
Yeah, God.
Maybe if we give it time, video games will create gold.
Maybe. They have the potential.
I mean, it keeps changing things. I mean, eventually, obviously, it's got to get to the alchemical paradigm, right? I mean, it's got to be gold, guaranteed.
Yeah, they just got to give it enough time. Just got to give it some time.
500 years later.
Oh yeah.
I have created gold from a Crash Bandicoot CD. Motherfucker, I told you I was right.
I yeah, I want to find more time to play video games. But then my problem is that I start watching YouTube, and then I keep watching YouTube, and then next thing I know, I'm like, oh, it's 3 in the morning, and I have work tomorrow.
One piece of advice about that, actually.
What?
Watch YouTubers that follow games that you love. Like for me, it was the Fallout thing. I started a new character like 2 months ago because I started watching somebody doing a Fallout 4 lore series, and I was like, I gotta update and play this game again.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea because I watch a lot of different stuff on YouTube. I don't just watch political stuff.
Mm.
It gets boring after a while.
Oh, it does. It does.
Like I'm highly interested in politics. I have very strong opinions, but I gotta take a break, you know?
I hear you. I hear you. Which is kind of more or less what I'm doing right now. It's like with like my last video and everything. It's like they gotten dry. The politics have gotten dry, but it's like it still needs to be said. At the end of the day, it's like all I want to do is I want to make stupid comments about what stupid people fucking do.
Yeah,
Stupid people do stupid shit all the time.
sometimes you just wanna sometimes you wanna roast people. Sometimes you just wanna watch
I think
Jake Paul sing It's Everyday Bro and just laugh at him and make multiple accounts to dislike the video multiple times.
no. Every time I see that, all I want to do is shoot myself.
Yeah, that too.
There is no exception to that rule. I ever get the feeling of suicide, I just turn the video on. I'm like, I'm ready to shoot myself now.
It's so bad.
Bad, bad
Bad.
does not even begin to describe it.
It's everyday, bro, and the Disney Channel flows.
No, stop. That's it. She's done. She's out. That's it. Shutting it off.
I promise I won't say. I actually don't know any more of that. The only other part I know is England is my city.
I would rather nail my own nuts to my leg with a nail gun than listen to that.
It's so bad. It's so
That's not
bad.
even, bad is not even a proper descriptor. It's
Cancer.
yes.
It's cancer
It's
and
cancer
AIDS.
AIDS.
It's cancer AIDS on a nuke.
It's gay cancer AIDS.
Gay cancer AIDS on a nuke. With
With
zombies
trap
on it.
lines.
Zombies
And
on
trap
it.
lines.
Right? Yes. It's just.
Where do you think the zombies came from that were writing said nuke?
I don't know. Maybe they're Jake Paul's fans.
Well, with zombies, the groin area rots out anyway. So it's a dude, it's a chick, you can't tell.
Yeah.
You get maggots in your dick. So
Oh,
win-win.
God.
Lose. They may have given me maggots, but I give them crabs. I mean,
I love zombies though. I've got plans for a zombie apocalypse when it inevitably happens. Although I did stop watching The Walking Dead, I still read the comics, but the show pissed me off.
I don't. There's one of the first things I noted when I started watching The Walking Dead. I was like, I would never do anything that this person just did.
Yeah, I think that a lot. I had to stop when they brought the Negan in because I love Negan in the comic books, and like I feel like he's just gonna be tainted if I watch him in the show.
In what regard?
Hmm?
In what regard?
Like it's just the character is such a part of the character is his massive amounts of F-bombs he drops. Also, I feel like no one can portray that character right. You'd have to read the comics to understand.
All right, fair enough.
But he's such a unique character that it's like I feel like he's just gonna be butchered.
Well,
He's
I
like
mean,
he's the villain that you love to hate and that you hate that you love.
all right. So he's kind of like, well, the Joker, actually.
But better. He has a
Yeah.
baseball bat with a barbed wire on it. It's named
Well,
Lucille.
certain level of there.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's a good. The comics are good. The show's gone to shit though. I feel like zombie movies in general have kind of gone to shit though. The, they're all the same.
Well, it's gotten overplayed at this point.
It really, really is. It's something that they feel like it's got to stop for a while, and then we can bring it back, and it'll be amazing again.
Well, isn't that with almost all cultures, though?
Yeah.
I mean, even the goth culture and whatnot has died in more or less in the United States. You know, that's one of those things. It's like, it needs to come back.
There's like 13-year-olds trying to bring it back, and it makes me want to hit my head with a nail gun.
Yeah, but you do it
I mean, to be fair
ironically.
though, when I was 12, I was actually like goth. I have pics to prove it.
I have the receipts,
I
goddammit.
have
I
pics to
have
prove
the
it.
evidence.
No, I can actually DM you a picture after the stream of what I what I looked like when I was. I think I had just turned 11 in the picture. That's
I
funny.
would do as you wish, but I'm not sure I'm comfortable with that.
No, I obviously look young, but I actually was goth. I
All right,
had
fair enough.
I had the boots. I had like the skirts and like the stockings and the like trench coat style jackets and a lot of eye makeup and whatnot. And I sat in my room and listened to Marilyn Manson and wrote sad things.
Marilyn Manson. That's some weak ass shit right there. You get yourself
Oh, and
laying
Evanescence. I loved Evanescence.
God.
Back before they became a meme.
I liked. I like one. You know, the realize. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no issue whatsoever with dealing with the fact that I like some old fashioned rock songs. We'll call it for the sake of argument. I'm not gonna call them old fashioned in the literal sense of the old fashioned, but I like Evanescence. I like Flyleaf. I like Seether. I like all of those bands. But also, on the contrary to that side, I also like fucking Cannibal Corpse, Skinless, fucking Napalm Death,
Hey, both of you.
Pantera,
Yeah,
Arch
yeah.
Enemy.
I love Arch Enemy.
My
I
my
listened to
my
them too when I
my
was like 10, 11, 12.
well, my music will go from like old fashioned Johnny Cash to modern Parkway Drive in about 3 seconds.
Yeah, I mostly listen to like hard rock, but I I listen to a lot of stuff. I just don't listen to pop. I really hate pop, especially
I
modern pop. I can
I
get
can't
behind like old pop, but not modern.
I can't hate it because I can't say that I hate it because even Taylor's blank space underneath a rock album sounds kind of alright to me. But I have to ask, do you know what pirate metal is?
Pirate metal? No, I don't.
You should look up a band named Ailstorm sometime.
What band?
Ailstorm. A
Hailstorm?
ale storm. Same
Ailstorm?
word though. Yep.
What letters it start with?
Alestorm.
Okay.
It is. They are fucking hilarious.
Okay. I couldn't tell if you were saying hailstorm or ailstorm because hailstorm is like a
Hail,
band.
Hailstorm's not bad either. I don't
Yeah,
mind Hailstorm.
I like them. I like them a
Have
lot.
you ever heard of Have you ever heard of Billy Talent?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Uh, Hold on. I'll just do a little quick. Come on, phone. Billy Talent. I'm pretty sure there is. You don't look so tall on your knees.
It sounds familiar. I'm sure I've heard it.
Do you know the anime Berserk?
The what? The
The
anime?
anime. Yep, the anime Berserk.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it, or if I have, it's not much of it.
Oh, you are missing so much.
I'll have to check it out then. We'll have to check it out.
You gotta look at the '97 version though, not the new version.
Okay. Yeah, the reboots are always terrible.
Yeah, they are. They are fucking absolutely horrible.
I don't know why they try to make reboots. There's that terrible that Fuller House on Netflix. I
I know what you're talking about. I don't want to talk about it. It's so fucking.
It's so bad.
It's so contrived.
I grew up watching Full House, and I have such fond memories of Full House. And then there's that atrocity. I can't with it. I just can't.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I just even can't with um that Fuller House. It's so bad.
I hear you.
Uh, Netflix is Netflix is going to shit. It
Yeah,
really
I mean,
has.
I still use it to this day, but
Oh, who doesn't?
it's like $8. I don't have to pay a fucking hundred some odd dollar cable fee as long as I have, Wi-Fi. So whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have cable. I want cable just so I can watch Dr. Phil, but it's too expensive just for Dr. Phil. I think Dr. Phil's hilarious.
So you like watching the train wreck that is people then?
Yes, I love watching train wrecks that are people. Catch me outside, how about that?
Oh my god, that was like I'm watching that and I'm like, so this is what the youth is. This is what the youth is. If that was
I
my if that was my kid, she would have been in a fucking shit stall in the northern part of New York just as fast as she said that sentence. Oh, you want
yeah,
to say that? Here you go. Here's a shit shovel. Shovel.
yeah, I don't care if it's on public TV. I don't care if it's live on public TV. If I had a kid that said that, I'd smack him upside the head and shut the fuck up. The fuck's wrong with you?
My kind of woman. I'm for more civil about it though.
Yeah.
All right, you want to say that? Here you go. You get to have a shit shovel, and you get to go shovel shit for the rest of your life. Catch me outside. How about that? Yeah, I'm gonna catch you outside in the middle of the goddamn shit field.
Catch me outside. How about that? Yeah, I'll catch you next time you try to leave the house. Kid tries to leave the house, just fucking tackle him.
Catch me outside. Caught you, bitch.
I wish someone had done that to her on the show.
Not even that, just like a fucking little, just like a big ass fucking Nerf dart on the end of a big ass gun. Catch you outside when she comes out of the bath. He comes out of the fucking room with a big ass. Bam! I caught you. How about that?
Oh my god. That girl is crazy. I don't know what's wrong with her.
Her mother?
Yeah, her mom is. She seems to be like a wannabe, whatever the name of the Kardashian mother is.
Valley Girl?
She's trying to be like the next Kardashian. Ghetto Kardashian. White ghetto Kardashian.
I don't know. I don't know. She talks like this, darling.
What has society come to? We've devolved so much.
The ending of the atavistic glory, dragging the knives between our raking fingers.
It's yeah, we have the president and Kim Jong Un tweeting on Twitter about their nuke sizes, but you know they're really talking about their dick size. Well, Kim Jong Un wasn't tweeting, but you know.
Oh, Donald Trump's nuke is definitely bigger. But that, I mean, by that I mean the literal one. The literal one is actually bigger.
Yeah, the other
As
ones
for,
have yet to be confirmed, but Trump does have small hands.
I do imagine it looks an awful lot like a carrot.
A carrot. I feel like Trump would have like really leathery, moist skin.
Why?
And I don't know why I always think of that when I think of him.
Why?
Because I'm a fucking weirdo.
I mean, whatever gets you off, I'm not gonna judge.
Oh my god. He's an interesting fella.
I can only imagine his testicles look like a pair of draping, shriveled oranges.
God. The talking orange is actually real.
Oh yeah, he's talking to me. He's talking to me right now. Or wait, is that the LSD? Don't mention moist and naked Trump in the same sentence.
Yes.
Already done. This has been
moist, naked, leathery, back.
Oh my. You thought this was gonna be a calm, collective stream. Little did you know we're gonna do the deep, dark spots of someone's butthole.
I told you I devolved quickly when I trained.
I am totally fine with this.
Yeah, me too. That was fun. Yeah, it's pretty much what I expected. The stream for me was like, yeah, we cover some serious topics, then probably wind up talking about something random as fuck.
The only thing I think of is the only reason why he did that much orange is because he had too much orange dick in his diet.
Around the election, I decided to do a face swap with Trump, and the way it swapped onto my face was so realistic, but so uncomfortable. And like, if you look at the picture, it looks normal for a second until you look at it closely. And then it's terrifying. Bobby Fischer says, so what is your opinion of Obama? I did not like him. He's a socialist. I don't like socialist communists.
Coming from a Russian, that's unusual.
I'm a capitalist. I'm a very hardcore capitalist.
Just so you know,
You
now
know?
she's drunk.
Yeah, no, I'm just not an Obama fan whatsoever.
I agree to that. I was never a Obama fan. To be fair, I was never a G.W. Bush fan either.
No, I wasn't either. Democrats and Republicans are just different sides of the same dirty old coin.
To be fair, it takes an act of God for third party to get anywhere when it comes to politics in this situation. But I do not no longer care about the politics. Let's go to the fun side of this.
Yee. The fun side.
Oh, the fun side. Let's talk about communism.
Communism.
Yeah,
Remember that time everyone died?
he's a commie.
Communism is great. You only die.
Well, communism is great because everybody dies equally.
Everyone dies. We're all equal. We're all equal, guys. We're all dying at an equal rate.
I mean, to be fair, you gotta give them that. They're all dying at the same rate. They're all dying. Man, woman, child, black, white, they're all dying.
They're all dead. Is that what works? It works fine.
Yeah, it works. It's great for equality. We're all dead. We're all equal. We're all dead. Can't get any more equal than that.
Yeah, you really can't. Fucking, oh god. I'm so terrified that we're gonna see America become communist in my lifetime.
I just imagine you're over there like, got my 6-shooter, I got my bug out bag, got 5 grand, got a 6-pack of cola, 6-pack of vodka. Get on the fuck out of this bitch.
I'm actually sitting here leaning back. I was holding my breath and have my hand in front of my mouth, just thinking like, "Oh fuck."
For me, it's like, come here, bitch. I'll sit your ass fucking clean. I'll make it my next goddamn meal. I don't give a shit.
Oh, it's really, it just freaks me out because we nearly elected a communist. Like, when I say Hillary is a communist, I'm not kidding, because she said in an interview, I think it was with Vice, that she had this plan called like Alaska for America, where every American would have like an automatic income of like $50,000 a year. I was like, bitch, what?
Well, no, I mean, in that regard, I can't verify that. I can't verify that right now, so I'm not gonna say that you're correct. But assuming you're correct, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. But then again, you also have to remember that her as a politician makes upwards about $250,000 a year. So
Yeah. No,
you also have to remember that
I'd
the
have to look up
politicians
the
are
link,
making.
but... Go ahead.
You also have to remember the politicians are making hundreds of $1,000s a year, while we're condemning people that make $50,000 a year and $50,000 a year.
Yeah, they probably make that. Well, the hundreds of thousands of dollars a year is just the salary that's available to the public. That's ignoring all the money that they get from selling uranium to random countries.
Ooh, we don't want to talk about it too much. We don't want to get Clinton on this stream now.
Hillary, come join.
Wait, hold on. There's a man in a black suit with some sunglasses and an earpiece talking to me outside of my window right now.
Oh fuck.
I'm kidding, obviously.
No, I know.
But regardless, still, it's like, you want to talk about all the money that's getting fucking swashed around a bunch of these governments, and they're all focused on Donald Trump's taxes, which, all right, fair enough. You want to make sure that he wants to pay his actual taxes. Okay, but let's look at what Bernie Sanders, and Hillary Clinton, and Bill Clinton, and every other presidential election before that actually paid in taxes.
Yeah.
It doesn't add up so well.
I
Not
don't
saying
think you
Trump's
should.
perfect.
I preferred him over Hillary, but
What?
yeah.
How did you feel about Austin Peterson?
About what?
How did you feel about Austin Peterson,
Austin Peterson. The name sounds familiar, but I
the
can't remember.
original, the original candidate for the Libertarian Party?
I didn't know much about him.
His motto was, "I want lesbian couples to be able to defend their pot farms with their automatic weapons."
You know who I liked a lot this election? D's nuts.
This is gonna get pretty gay really quick.
I remember that in like late 2015. D's nuts is running for president. We should have just elected D's nuts. How North
Fair
Korea
enough.
gonna
Fair enough.
threaten to nuke us when the president is D's nuts?
To be fair, in regards to the election, D is nuts. 2020. G Money says. Fair enough. Fair enough. To be fair, I'd
I'll
vote for my nuts before anybody else's.
I'll vote for me.
But
I'll try not to start nuclear war.
you're not even old enough. You're
No.
not even old enough to run for office. Don't even start with that shit. Uh, to be fair, if you were to run for office, I'd be relatively interested in the future. But in regards to that, she was talking about Austin Peterson. If he had won the Libertarian vote, that Bobby Fischer would have voted for Austin Peterson, myself included. I would have voted for Austin Peterson as well.
I voted Libertarian. Gary Johnson had the closest ideas to mine, and I also wanted to hit that 5%, so it'd have to be officially recognized as a party.
It's not even about the 5% though. You also have to get the 12% over 3 recurring census for 3
Well,
years.
that comes next, but with the 5%, the government has to acknowledge it as an official party
I think
for it
Austin
to really
Peterson.
be a. Hmm?
I think Austin Peterson would have a better chance.
I think these nuts would have been the best. I don't even know what his platforms were, but I think he would have been a good president.
I think D's nuts would have been a better chance.
These nuts. That would have been funny.
I mean,
Yeah.
can you argue though? In regards to in regards to Gary Johnson though, his outlooks on the border were clearly,
Abysmal.
yes, abysmal.
I
Austin Peterson. Well, I have his issues with him outside of that situation. His issues I view were far less than what Gary Johnson had. I mean, Gary Johnson already had the ticket beforehand, and he already lost it. I think
Yeah.
if Austin Peterson had had it, he would have gotten a much larger vote
Yeah, quite possibly.
versus Gary Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. It's just let's see my biggest reasoning was just like I said, a lot on principle of just wanting to kind of just have the party recognized and like to be like, hey, we're here. That you can't ignore us. You can't ignore us, man. But just it was more economic for me. I was thinking on mostly is what would be. I feel like it's just our economic system is so fucked, and I didn't quite trust Trump enough to vote for him.
Fair enough. To,
And
to me,
there's
I
no
see, I
way
see where you're coming from. To me, it wasn't a matter of his economics. It was a matter of his. The border was mainly one of the biggest things. That was like, I don't even care if he builds a fucking wall. I just want him to actually enforce the laws that happen inside the border there. But
Oh, absolutely.
when it comes to the libertarian side, if what I want in the Libertarian Party is, I want for them to say that, all right, you want abortion, but here's the thing: the government doesn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. The government don't have to pay for. I don't think the government should have to pay for anyone's medical expenses.
Exactly, because when we say, well, when you say the government has to pay for it, what eventually means is that taxes have to pay for it,
Yeah, exactly.
which means
I'm paying for it.
exactly,
You're paying for it. I'm
and
paying for it. I
and
don't want to
what
pay for that.
yeah, and I don't want to pay for next door Jane to get fucking banged and get pregnant, and I don't have to pay for that fucking kid.
Yeah, no.
That's all that it is.
Yeah, exactly. No, I don't want. I'll take my own money, and you can make your own. Yeah, the only people that I think should get like government health care, through the taxpayers' money is people who served in the military and suffered from illness or injury while in combat.
Well, even then, you could set up a private institution for that as well, which I'm sure they
Oh,
get
absolutely.
plenty of support.
In a perfect world, absolutely.
Well, if taxes were devoid and everything else was devoid, and I had the option to donate my money directly to a veteran, I'd give my money without a fucking heart, without even a second thought.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd be happy to donate to that if I had the money of my own, but government likes to take that from me, so I don't have my own money to donate to that.
Yeah, fair enough. Uh, how would you like to take a 5 minute break?
Yeah, that sounds good. I gotta use the bathroom. So, yeah, 5 minute break. We'll be right back, guys. Thank you for hanging in here. But yeah, I'll be right back.
Oh, back again.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Back again.
Yeah, I'm back. And Bobby Fischer says, I don't want to pay for abortions either. Yes, I do not want to pay for that. Bobby Fischer also says, our vets were promised that. They serve, they sacrifice. Have you? No, I haven't, and that's why I think that unless we are in a perfect world where everything is privatized, that they are the ones who deserve, um, you know, government health care. And yes, Bobby, the military has my full support as well. I don't mind them having a huge budget.
Oh, shot that fucking plane right down, didn't you? All right. In regards to that though, when it comes to what's I'm looking for? Hmm. Pedestrian considered all those questions. The reason why we have such an issue with medical care in this country is because of government intervention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is because the reason why you go to a doctor and you have to pay $100 for that doctor to simply look at you
Yeah, it's
is
ridiculous.
because of the government.
Yeah,
Go on.
the government just kind of fucks everything up. They kind of keep fucking everyone over. It's the taxes is why there winds up being out of pocket anyway, and because they're all involved with insurance so much, it's just a mess.
Well, yeah, if they can get their fucking share out of it, the first thing they'll do is take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I really hope. Well, yeah, it was the tax bill. Yeah, that didn't they repeal in that that you have to that you have to have insurance.
Yeah, they repealed it.
Yeah, I'm really glad about that because it's ridiculous to have to pay for insurance if you're completely healthy.
It's also ridiculous to pay for something you don't want.
Exactly. It's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous to have to pay something you don't even want. But I also think that if you do go get medical care and the government should not have to pay for that, you need to pay for that out of pocket because it's your responsibility.
Exactly.
Because you could have been responsible and gotten some kind of insurance. You didn't. That's cool because you didn't want it, but now you got to pay out of pocket.
Yeah, you know, the ramifications of not doing what would have originally been a smart idea to do.
Yeah.
It is part of being an adult. It's part of growing up. In
Yeah.
no way,
Exactly.
shape, or form should the government front the bill.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah. I feel like part of why our generation is so crappy is because the government is just mommy and daddy once you become adult.
In no way, shape, or form should the government be your mom or your daddy.
No, absolutely not. You know, it's become that. You can't afford you don't make a lot of money. Okay, well we'll give you some money. How about you get a better job? Get a second job. Stop spending money on stupid shit.
Exactly.
I make $9.25 an hour, and I live in Illinois, so our taxes are ridiculous. But I still manage to make that last. And I have expenses to pay for. But I don't spend it on dumb shit.
What, you don't have a big, massive 12-inch vibrating dildo at your house that costs $1,200?
No, I had to save a lot for that.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
No, like, I love tattoos, but I don't really even have, I only have one because they're expensive, and I put my priorities first, you know?
Well, you pay what you got to pay. You deal with the actions of your fucking. It's terrible to say, but sometimes you just have to deal with the consequences of your actions.
Exactly.
Sometimes it hurts, yes, but you gotta learn from it
Yeah,
at the same time.
and unless you do a serious fuck up, it'll pass with time. Everything will be okay. Not the end of the world if you make a couple boo-boos. I make boo-boos all the time.
Yeah, I can't argue with you on that one. You can't look to the rest of the world when your life turns upside down, because the only thing it's going to do is create a constant, repetitive state of dependence upon the rest of the world to cure your fucking problems.
Exactly. You got to be independent, and that's the thing that something our generation lacks too is that independence was just completely not encouraged. Growing up as minor, so when you're an adult and suddenly you actually have to be independent, no one had any idea how to do it.
Exactly. We weren't taught to. Well, me, I was actually, subjected to a relatively independent thought and thinking when I was younger, but most
Yeah,
people
so
roll
go ahead.
most people were subjected to the college thought where everybody cares about your feelings and everybody gives a shit how about you feel. When in reality, no one
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about
gives a
anyone's
fuck.
feelings. I give a fuck about a few people's feelings, but not many. But no, like it's. Oh, what the fuck was I gonna say? Forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, I've had a pretty good concept of independence. I started working when I was 15. I was an assistant at a salon.
Oh, yeah,
Yes, it was a pretty good job.
hot.
My boss moved, though, to Colorado, so that's why I'm not there anymore. Otherwise, I probably still would be. But I made a lot better money there than I am making now, but I have a job. That's what matters.
You make a paycheck every day. That's what matters.
Yeah, I make money. That's the important thing.
The real situation is every day you deal with the same work.
Yeah,
You do your job. You don't whine about it. You may cry about it a little bit,
I whine a
but
little
you do
bit,
your
but
job.
I still do it. I whine about it, but I do it.
All right, fair enough, fair enough.
I get up in the morning, I don't want to go to work, but I go, and then I do my job well, and I don't take taxpayers' money.
Respectable individual.
Yeah,
Hot.
duh. It's Bobby Fischer says, "LOL," and I quote, "This is a dictatorship. I am the mom because I say so." Right, rat. And he also says, "Yeah, it's true. Parents' fault." Yeah, it really does. I do see it falling on parents a lot as much as I think of individualism. When you're raising kids, you're shaping them to be an individual. It's your
Well,
responsibility as a parent.
you model them as their own individual,
Yeah.
and well, essentially an individual at that point.
Yeah, you try to teach them to be an individual, basically. But yeah, it does fall on the parents when your kid does not know how to take care of themselves because you never taught them how to be independent.
All right, so I think we're gonna shut down the stream,
Oh yeah, shit,
and
it's 11 here. It's midnight where you are.
I get a few words. Um, to the rest of the chat out there, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and/or night. I will leave her link in the description once I find it.
I can link my channel in the chat and I can just link it to you in the hangout. And then
You
you
can
can
just
stick it there.
that works for me too.
It's coming up to view as a subscriber. I'll link it anyways and see if that works. Paste. Does that work?
I think I got it.
And then my Twitter is Dirty Hippie Ray.
This isn't too hard to find.
Hmm?
What? I
Your
didn't say anything.
Yeah, my name on Twitter is Ray Savage, and it's at Dirty Hippie Ray. And for the chat, I love talking to people, so feel free to DM me or whatever.
I'm gonna end the hangout officially,
Alrighty.
but